All right, today we're diving into an absolute legend, the Phra Kamphaeng Met Khanun. This isn't just any amulet. We're talking about a masterpiece forged in the Sukhothai kingdom, well over 600 years ago. It's a piece of history, faith, and incredible artistry all rolled into one.
And this is what it's all about. Have me and you will not be poor. I mean, what a promise! This powerful blessing is at the heart of its legend, and it's what has made collectors and devotees seek it out for centuries. Of course, that same promise also makes it one of the most faked artifacts out there.
So, that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? When something is this famous, you know the imitations are going to be everywhere. And that's exactly what we're going to tackle today. We're going to break down the key signs that separate the real deal from the clever copies.
Okay, so first things first, let's talk about why this amulet is such a big deal. The Leela Met Khanun is what you'd call top tier. For a while, it was even considered part of the Benjapaki, the Grand Five of all Thai amulets. Its beautiful walking Buddha form and its powerful reputation for bringing wealth make it a massive target for forgers.
So where do you even start looking for clues? Well, the trick isn't to zoom in on one tiny little mark. Nope, the first step is to step back and learn to read the story that time itself has written all over its surface. And here's something you've got to understand. Spending 600 years buried in the ground physically changes an object. It's just physics. The clay settles, moisture gets in, things compress, and the surface transforms in ways that are just about impossible to fake in a workshop today. Okay, let's really break this down. The key idea here is what experts call a settled surface. A genuine amulet that's been around for centuries isn't going to be perfectly flat. It's had time to compress, creating these gentle, natural waves and wrinkles, what's called pyu hyop and klien. Fakes, on the other hand, often look too perfect. They're flat, they're stiff, and their edges are sharp because they haven't been worn down by centuries of tiny erosions. An authentic piece just has this look of dense, firm age that's so hard to describe, but you know it when you see it. But that wrinkled skin, that's just the beginning of the story. Next up, we have to look at the evidence that was left behind by the place where it spent most of its life, the stupa. Right, so imagine an amulet just sitting inside a stupa, or crew, for hundreds and hundreds of years. It's not just sitting in a sterile box. It's interacting with the soil, the moisture, the air, and it picks up traces of that long, long rest.
And this stuff, it actually has a name, Krab Fa Kru. You can think of it like a natural patina. It's this very delicate, whitish film that slowly forms over an immense amount of time. It's a slow chemical reaction with its environment. It is absolutely not a layer of paint.
And this is just the perfect analogy. It's one of my favorite ways to think about it. It's not a thick, caked-on layer. It's a subtle, almost dusty bloom that looks completely organic, just like that fine, powdery film you see on a fresh, untouched mango or a grape. It's beautiful, really. So here's your checklist. Real Krab Fa Kru is super thin, and this is a big one. It has zero sparkle. Forgers sometimes mix in glittery stuff, which is a dead giveaway. The real deal is totally dry, matte, and it's become one with the surface. Now, if the amulet has been handled or worn a lot, you'll only find this stuff hiding deep in the crevices where fingers couldn't polish it away.
Okay, we're going deeper now. We're moving beyond the general film and getting into what I call nature's signatures. These are the micro details that are born from living organic processes, and they are incredibly tough for forgers to get right.
Let's talk about something called Araco rock. This is basically a type of natural fungus, usually a brownish-black color. Over all those centuries in a humid stupa, this stuff doesn't just sit on top of the amulet, it literally grows into the porous clay, embedding itself and becoming a permanent part of the object.
And here's another fantastic way to picture this. Think about what happens when a drop of ink hits a piece of paper. It bleeds out, right? It creates these fine, branching, feathery tendrils at the edges. That is exactly what authentic rarak looks like. It's not a solid dot of paint, it's an organic pattern that shows you how it grew over time.
So when you're examining an amulet, look really closely at these spots. Does it have that ink bleed look? Is it bone dry? Does it feel like it's part of the surface texture? If it looks wet or shiny or like a little dab of paint just sitting on top, you should be very, very skeptical. You can't wash real rakan off. It's in there for good. All right, this next one, this is maybe the most important material detail of all. It's called Ray Dak Makam.
These are little reddish-brown flecks of mineral, likely iron oxide, that were just naturally part of the special clay used in Kamphaeng Phet. Now, foragers know this is a key feature, so yeah, they'll try to add similar-looking bits to their fakes. But here is the one thing they just can't get right. Look at this comparison. Foragers can add the mineral, but they can't fake its age. A real particle of Raydock Mokum looks ancient. It looks wrinkled, kind of crumbly, and most importantly, you'll see different shades within a single tiny fleck, like a bit of orange on a red piece. A fake particle just looks new. The color is flat and uniform, and it often looks like it was just pressed into the clay.
Okay, so let's pull all these different threads together. We've looked at the big picture, the whole surface, and we've zoomed way in on the tiny details. How do we combine all of that to make a final call? Here's probably the single most important takeaway from all of this. It's not about finding one magic clue. It's about whether all the clues tell a consistent story, a story of 600 years. If the amulet itself looks brand new and stiff, but it's got some stains and minerals slapped on top, well, the story doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. When it comes right down to it, authenticating a piece like this is about checking for 3 distinct categories of evidence. Think of them as 3 pillars that all have to be standing strong together.
So, remember these 3 pillars. Pillar 1, the physical aging, that wrinkled, settled, undulating surface. Pillar 2, the stupa residue, the natural bloom of the crab falcru and the inky spread of the raw rock. And finally, Pillar 3, the materials. The visible age in the raw materials themselves, especially that ancient multi-toned look of the Raydock Mokum. When all 3 of those align, you are very likely looking at the real thing.
And that really leaves you with a final thought, doesn't it? When you're looking at these details, you're not just trying to spot a fake. You're learning the language of the object itself. You're reading its story, a story of where it was born, why it was made, and the incredible journey it's taken through time. The real art is just learning how to read it.